First of all, HomeAfrika is now about 9 years old. And when we started out like a chama, like most small companies do start. We come together as friends who are in similar industries. So we had architects, we have quantity surveyors, we had financiers like ourselves or like myself, and a few other professions within the industry. And at the time, everyone was doing their own different projects, small bits and pieces. So as friends, we decided to come together and say, look, instead of focusing on doing small things, we will continue doing that. To what extent can we come together as friends and develop a company that can do bigger things, that can make a much bigger impact than we're able to make individually? So that's how the company started. So we started mobilizing capital. We would call people at Parkland Sports Club to invite them to see if they can invest in the company. And so at the time, we were looking for individuals who could raise up to 2 million shillings for a share over a 1 year period. So it was not exceedingly onerous. It needed someone to have faith, to understand where we are going, look at our vision, and be able to invest. So initially we raised about 270 million shillings, and we were keen, therefore, to start deploying that capital. So we got into our first project, which was the Morningside Office Park. Very complex initially because of the fact that someone like me was involved on that particular project from day one. And because of the conflict, we required that shareholders give an approval to waive the conflict of interest so that the project can be allowed to come into HomeAfrika's portfolio of projects. So we initiated this project. We knew it was going to take about 3 years to complete, and which we did very well. So to a large extent, we made a significant return. We gave the landowner a very good return. And over time, the building has continued to see success, just in terms of occupancy, the use and design of a building. And we think that we have a good grade A type building. Our second project then was Miga, which was a large project. So Miga is 774 acres out in Kiambu, just about 23 kilometers away from Nairobi. So it's quite close. And obviously a very good attraction to people who want to live in the outskirts of Nairobi, but live a holistic lifestyle with the golf facility, with shopping, with other hospitality facilities as well. So Miga was our second project. We invested 1.1 billion shillings on it just to buy the land. Again, very difficult initially to start, looking for debt to make that happen, getting our shareholders to contribute equity to make that happen. But we managed to do it. So after buying the land, obviously we went into the process of master planning it, creating a future of it, making sure that it becomes an attraction to whoever who we're targeting, which was mainly the middle class. So over time, the project has seen a good level of success. But like any other project, you find delays here and there, and that's a normal project situation. Very few projects have 100% deliverability. So we've also had a bit of delays, but we've continued to keep pace at building the infrastructure. We're currently, trying to finalize the roads. We believe that the roads will be done in the next 24 months. We have also gotten into partnership with an Egyptian firm that focuses on building private clubs, Wadi Degla, and they will be on ground from November to build sports facilities, to build a clubhouse for the golfers, and to build the second 9, given that we had already completed the first 9 and now playable. So that alone will be a significant addition to Miga and what Miga represents for the lifestyle of the people of who will be living there. So that was our second project. Continues to be our second project. It's a long-term project. We believe it should take between 7 and 10 years to have it completed. But we would like to finish our infrastructure part in the next 2 years, so that by 2018 we basically come out of the infrastructure and start focusing on the building works. We know we can't do everything ourselves. This is a big piece of land, but we needed to make sure that the infrastructure is fully developed. So at the end of the day, we will complete the infrastructure portion, which is what we promised. But then subsequently, we will be partnering with the possible developers who will help us then finalize the completion of the buildings, the housing, and the commercial areas. So, for example, one of the estates we have completed recently is called Mitiniscapes. It's now fully completed. We have people already living in the estate. It was in partnership with HomeAfrika itself. Remember, HomeAfrika is a 60% shareholder of MIGA. Yes. So HomeAfrika needed to buy something separate to be able to create a facility that they can showcase how MIGA will look like in the future. So we have completed an 82-unit mix of apartments and villas. Most of them have been bought. We still have a few apartments that are remaining, 20 of them. So we're in the market looking for people who can buy those remaining 20. In the meantime, we have also created a facility within MIGA called Moro Ridge, which is in partnership with the Tamarind Group, to try and develop hotel apartments. We are creating 100 hotel apartments with a view to have these apartments then rented out over time, almost like holiday facilities. So we hope to also complete that within the next year or so. We had 100 of them, 55 are sold. We have 45 units that are still unsold. And obviously the market should try and get that sold as well. Well, what you're saying is interesting. The only thing that we have to keep in mind here is that we are a listed real estate development company, which is a little different from a REIT, particularly if it's a development REIT. The first REIT that went into the market is an income REIT, the one that was done by Fahari. What they do with that particular REIT is to go to the market, raise money, and go and invest in income-generating assets. So very different from our type of organization. So even from an accounting perspective, the way they would account for revenue and the balance sheet items is very different from the way we would. The second REIT is the one that was being done by Fusion. That's a development REIT, but it's brand new. So we've not started seeing the effect of the funding that they raised and how it then relates to the project and then how it is reported in their financials. That is yet to come. And when it does come to the market, we will notice that there will be very, very significant similarities with the Fusion's REIT compared to HomeAfrika.